any senator to do anything for us again. It is high time we pick our course ourselves.
Tina,
yes.
Before you go, if you are the economic advisor to Mr. President, with the present situation that we are faced with, sincerely, what will be your advice now? Aside that which you've suggested that we should take the guns, we should, fight the battle ourselves. What are the things you will probably do or give us advice to Mr. President to act upon?
The issue is not the advice, because it is obvious that the government is not listening to the advisors. Even if he have advisors that are perfect, that he can control, that he has, they cannot stand their ground. Even because we have intellectuals in this country that, can move this country ahead, but they are nowhere to be found. Look at that woman. We have people like that in this country who can do something for this country. But because they have other selfish interests, they have other ulterior motives, they will not take to this genuine advice. So there is no, in short, I don't have any other thing to advise. The only advice I can give right now is everybody in this country is suffering. Even the rich men that are calling themselves that they are rich, it is affecting them one way or the other. Most of all the students, really the newborn baby now is corrupt from the womb because of the government has been pushing us. They spend billions organizing marriage parties, graduation parties, culture and this and that for their families, where they will benefit, neglecting the interest and the benefits to the masses. So I don't see anything that we can advise the government. This is not an economic issue. This is, in short, it's all Nigerians are emotionalized. You go straight to the streets and you will see that people are really suffering. So there is no economic advice that will do anything, because that is not ready to listen. So since they don't want peace, let us take violence to stop this issue, because that is what they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tina. We appreciate your contribution. You want to ask? Ask a question?
Tina.
Yes?
Yeah, I don't want to keep you for too long on the line, but I just want to say that, well, let's not get tired yet. There are people who are listening and who will still keep on saying this thing. Like our guest said yesterday, that we cannot stop telling them. We cannot stop telling them. We can't face them the way you are saying. Otherwise, we will add more insults to the injury. So I'll ask you to be.
You think they don't know?
What can they know?
They know. So there is no more. It's not a question of adding insult to injury. If you look at the cases of every Nigeria, you know that there is suffering.
Yes, what I'm saying is that should we tell Nigerians to go?
It's not of us. It is just the work we put that is covering us.
Yes, yeah, I know.
We are suffering. A lot of us should listen, because we did not put in there to enslave us.
I agree with you, Tina.
Slavery in our own country.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that
under the colonial masters that took. We are under slavery in our own country, Nigeria.
I understand you, Tina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. We appreciate your concern, and we appreciate your positive and constructive contribution to the issue. Thank you.
Internal concern of the government. I think that should be the priority, really. You see, the policies of IMF, World Bank, are individualistic policies. When you talk about the regulation, who does it favor? It's only favoring a few individuals as opposed to the communal benefit of the whole society.
It favors their country.
It favors their country better, because they are just making Nigeria a dumping ground. They're not making us produce. They're killing the manufacturing industry. They're killing the textile industry. You see, when Babangida was head of state here, something I realized now, people were complaining about Mrs. Babangida talking about better life for rural women. I realized recently that if you look at the current trend of people in government, the kind of clothes they wear are highly expensive. Yes. They don't wear Ankara anymore. They don't wear Adire anymore. They said they are not in that class anymore. So it's like all the time they are dressed for a party. There are no simple clothes they wear. But during the Mrs. Babangida regime, when she was first lady, they were patronizing all these local textile industries like Subako and so many of them. I know that they were always wearing those Ankaras and all those things, but today now, nobody is patronizing them. The government is dressing so flamboyantly, everything is so flamboyant. Even when Babangida was head of state, he was using 504 and the 505 customized from France, because that is the car we have, that's the car we are producing in Nigeria. But this current government has neglected that. We want to bring in BMWs for Koja. When their Papan has Peugeot products on the ground, which will create employment for the people of Nigeria, you are going to import BMW where they don't have a manufacturing plant here. What is that? Then I expected President Obasanjo to use a Peugeot, France, for the bulletproof.
Okay, thank you.
Contribution to make.
Okay, go ahead, Fred.
First, I acknowledge the presence of the man in the studio. I like his contribution.
Thank you.
I like people like him. And second, my contribution is that last time they said the regulation, it was leading into destruction. And now they say they want to increase Naira. I don't think it's a good advice. To me, it will lead to much destruction, and at least they need to know that there are people in the society. They need to cater for the grass level. People are suffering in Nigeria. That's not the stake or the thing to all that. I don't think you can solve anything. All we need is development and manage our resources, someone to manage everything that we have and not to add more problems to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Very much.
Thank you.
Well, when ideas like this start coming from students, you can just imagine.
Yes, because if we look at the deregulation policy at the end of the day, I said it tends to individualism. And it seems that what is happening, we are being colonized internally by a few people. And they are turning themselves into financial terrorists.
Okay, I want to ask you
there
this.
is one of the, I'm sorry, there is one of the dailies that says something today about, the politicians behind, behind the petroleum, whatever, that this is more of a political or a politician's idea.
Well, because you see, at the end of the day, if we are importing petrol, some people are getting commission somewhere.
Yes.
So they have technically sabotaged the refineries, which Obaseki said a few months ago in April, when we had the first strike, the 8-day strike. One-on-one was good enough. NTA played the program for us, a repeat. And Obaseki told the Nigerians that all the refineries were working. And that saying that the refineries are not working.
I was coming to that. Let's take this call. We're going to take that and look at that deeply. Let's take this call first. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
Please, sir, can you do us a favor? Do reduce the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you clearly.
Yes, I'll do it.
Please do it, sir. Thank you.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can. And we also want you to speak up properly, too, because your voice is very good, too.
Okay.
Thank you.
I am sick and tired of the whole thing.
You didn't tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Victor.
Victor. You're calling from where, Victor?
Victor is calling from Victoria Island.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Go ahead now.
Yes. The gentleman, thank you for what you've said so far.
Thank you very much.
I wish people like you are there to implement, not only to say it out like this, but to put it in action.
Well, government does not recruit people like us. We tell the truth.
Thank you very much. Yes, a lot of things to talk about, but I will summarize on my own view. The masses are suffering. There is no doubt about that. But I'm afraid this second tenure of this administration is trying to bring disunity among Nigerians because of various policies which they intend to implement at the detriment of the people. So, coming to this particular topic now, which you have just stated, I would have loved to advise the government to look into their carcass and know exactly if the people working with the president are supposed to be there. Because they are the ones who normally suggest. Our president is not is of a military background, so in some cases he will adopt some policies based on the suggestions and the advices from the so-called advisors, ministers, and the other international bodies. A solution to this problem is to get ourselves calm, follow up the situation. Whatever they think they are doing is in record. So the last 2-3 callers said we have to go out to the street and start making problems again. At the end of the day, it is we the masses that is going to suffer.
Yeah,
they don't care about us, which everyone knows. Look at the it's very bad. Electricity, they've spent nothing has come up from there. What have you, my brother? Just keep telling us, updating us, enlightening us with that doesn't know much about what is going on, and we will know the best way to follow it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you all.
Thank you, Victor, for your contribution as well. Well, I was going to ask you, you made mention of Bugaris Obaseki now,
Yes.
that when you had the one-on-one, he said the refineries were working.
Yeah.
As again the fact that another school of thought was saying that so much billions of dollars had gone into the repair of the refineries and they are not working. So that brings this question. Does the resignation of Rilwan Lukman and the removal of Obaseki has anything to do with improving the economy at this time? Because they said that the appointment of Kupolokun is to clean up NNPC and bring out integrity, accountability, transparency in the NNPC. How
And
will that
also
work?
to pursue the deregulation policy. That was I heard on the news.
Okay, how do we reconcile that?
Maybe before he answers,
Let's take a call before you take us on that.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Thank you for this program.
Thank you. Who is calling first?
Prince additional good evening.
Prince Adeshino
Good evening.
Ogundimu, calling from where, sir?
Dolphin Estate.
Dolphin Estate. Thank you for calling us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
First, we have to look, if we have to talk about Nigeria, then we have to look at the government in place. What is happening in Nigeria is, what we are asking now is not the beginning of the problem. The beginning of the problem started when Obasanjo became the president for the second term. All those things, all these policies we have now is the PDP politics.
Is what?
It's the PDP politics.
Okay.
They're moving down to put Nigerians into abject poverty. Because if you look at it, if we have to start from dividing the naira, then we're starting from the middle. We should start from the beginning of this whole problem. Obasanjo came back some 4 weeks after he was inaugurated or elected or sworn in, he increased the pump price. And he told us that he did not know anything about the increase in pump price. And later he came back and said that NLC was trying to have a parallel government. Later, now, they are about to take, Rilwan Lukman, who was supposed to be his advisor, resigned. Not because he resigned, he did not resign with his own hand. He left the country and gave his personal assistant his resignation letter to drop for the president. Obviously, he must have been giving the president advices that the president never took. And if we remember very well, on the day the president was inaugurating his advisors, he told them that they were just advisors, no matter what they say. He doesn't have to answer to what they say, because he knows better. He has seen far and wide. So if we are looking at that from that angle, I mean, somebody advising Mr. President, forget about that. Nobody's going to advise him. He's not going to listen to anybody. He's going to do what he wants to do. And if we now go back to the politics of PDP, now, did Obasanjo really emerge as a presidential candidate? Did he really win the election, quote and unquote? But now he's the president, no doubt about that. If they have to accept to have the chairmanship election, the local government election, you would see the truth will come out that most of those chairmen, most of the local government will be